Good, glorious greetings to everyone. I normally say good, glorious morning, but I realize that some of us are not listening to this in the morning time. So, whenever you are listening to me, I want to say good, glorious greetings. Okay, so today I got some things on my mind, and one of the things, the most important thing I have in my mind is about the health of our bodies. Okay. Um, yeah. Me and everybody else in this world is going through um, challenges with their bodies, with our bodies. So, one of the ways that I'm addressing personal issues and when I'm counseling others, one of the first things I normally say is your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. The very Spirit of God of all creation dwells inside of you. And so normally I'm going to start with nutrition. So when you think back about it, even when a baby, a newborn, okay, has some difficulty with this body, is generally demonstrated through the stomach. They may throw up, they may contract, and that kind of lets you know something's going on with the tummy. They may even reach for the tummy, okay? So this is the central part of your body, okay? So today I want to talk about, mostly nutrition, but there's some patterns of our nutrition or some patterns of our eating habits, okay? Our eating habits can lead to distress, dis-ease, discomfort, okay? So let's start with that. And remember, I am all about healing, rejuvenation, transformation, restoration, spirit, mind, and body. Because we are all of those three, we're the 3-in-1 Trinity, okay? We are spirit, mind, and body. And in order for us to have perfect health, a sense of peace, perfect peace, joy, then we want to align ourselves with the perfect love. Perfect love. Now, most of us in these minds have demonstrated or have seen demonstrations of that which we, maybe older people, recognize as like, I don't think that's love. That's not love. And Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? Well, I got news for you. Love has everything to do with it. So, one of my first prayer every morning is, my body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and I allow the infinite wisdom of that Spirit to abide, rest, rule, reside within me, and guide and instruct me in all my ways, in every thought, word, and deed. And I offer my body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. This is my reasonable service. And I am not conformed to this world, but I am transformed by the renewing of my mind, that I might manifest the love of God in this flesh, to all that I encounter. Okay? So, rewind 1,000 times. Remember that one. I think there's power in those words. So let's talk about 3 nutrition concepts that can cause us distress, dis-ease, discomfort within our bodies. All right? So let's, there's emotional eating, overeating, and there's eating toxic foods, okay? And what might be toxic for me may not be toxic for you, okay? It all depends on where we are, our state of mind, our state of spirit, our state of body, because it's going to follow the spirit and the mind. This body is going to show up. Okay, so let's talk about some of these. Someone asked me a few days ago, what causes belching? And so nutritionally, belching is caused by maybe eating too fast, drinking too much fluid while you eat. You actually would be best for each of us to not drink while we're eating. Now, sometimes depending on what you're eating, so like with me, if I'm eating pork rinds, I gotta have a beverage. So, because those can be like really, really dry. Okay, and when I was going through keto, I would have a beverage. Now I've learned that I don't have to have a beverage if I'm eating the pork rinds, if I'm eating something moist with the pork rinds. So drinking, you should have your water or whatever you're going to drink about half an hour before you eat, or maybe an hour or half an hour at least after you've eaten your meal. Normally, if I'm in a restaurant, I will not ask for water, and if they're going to put water down in front of me anyway, I will ask for water with no ice and maybe some lemon on the side. Now, I'm going to squeeze the lemon over my food most of the time for an added seasoning, and the water is generally for dipping my napkin in, so that if I get things on my fingers or something like this, I can wipe my hands with a wet cloth. Okay, that's just me, but that's just to simplify my life, and that's one of the practices that I do, because I don't drink the water while I'm eating my food. Okay, so back to belching. If you're eating really, really fast and not chewing your food and allowing it to be processed in your mouth, where you get the taste and everything. Sometimes when I'm looking at young people, especially my grandsons, I would say, did you even taste that? You just like put it in your mouth and swallowed it. No, I tasted it, something like that. So take your time to eat. And that comes to another point, relaxing while you eat. So if you're eating out of emotions or anger or anything else, rather than the fact that you're hungry, then your tummy is already kind of knotted up, and it's not going to digest very well, and it may cause belching. Now, if you're talking while you're eating, it's very difficult for me to do. Normally, I will chew my food and finish, swallowing it before I will answer a person or before I will chat. One of the things that I learned quite a few years ago at a Buddhist retreat was that when we took our meals in silence. And I was there for 3 days, and I noticed that I didn't have as much air, belching or otherwise, okay, in my body. And it made a difference. It made me think about what I'm doing when I'm eating. So the other thing is sometimes our food will cause like heartburn. And some of us even go as far as to develop GERD, esophageal, okay, GERD. I should have looked that one up so I could tell it to you better. But that is a higher stage of like heartburn or acid reflux type things. And a lot of times it's caused by the state of our body system when we're eating. It can be caused by overeating, by getting too much air, spicy foods, fatty foods, those kinds of things. Sometimes you can tolerate them, sometimes you can't. So, and here's another point. Listen to your body. Don't just sit down because it's a party and start gobbling up everything because it's a party and you're distracted and you're talking and you're walking and you're drinking. And even carbonated beverages with your food brings more air into the system, brings more indigestion, because what you're doing when you're eating and drinking at the same time is the beverage is kind of cooling what in Ayurveda we call the Agni. And the Agni is the fire of the belly that digests our foods. So if you dissolve that or you saturate that, then you don't have the fire that will digest the food, okay, in a manner that it doesn't come back to bite you. It's pretty much the way I say it. Anyway, so listen to your body. So when you sit down to a plate of food, I don't care if you're in a restaurant, if you're in your home, whatever it is. When I was growing up, we always said grace, okay? And we didn't have to close our eyes to say grace. We could be looking at all that luscious food in our plate, and we would say something like, thank you for this food, for the nutrition of our body or something like that. But in that moment, you take a moment to take a deep breath and relax and just look at what the bounty of the food that that's sitting before you, okay? And so it allows you to get in the proper state of mind, okay, to consume this nutrition for the body, for the maintenance, the upkeep, the nutrition, okay, for the health of the body. Now, when we're angry or we're eating out of anger, one of my Ayurvedic teachers questioned me one time and asked me what kind of snacks do I like. And I said, chocolate, okay, certain times. And he goes, well, that's because you're wanting some more sweetness in your life. And he goes, do you like any other kind of snacks? I says, yeah, I like chips. And he goes, what kind of chips do you like? And I said, normally potato chips or corn chips. I like the really corn chips. And he said, well, that's because you're wanting more power in your life. And I thought about it. I'm like, okay, so when you're chewing on something that's like really, really, okay, like corn chips, That's a hard, crunchy chip. So you're exerting power in your chewing, okay? And when you pop a piece of chocolate in, sometimes you're not chewing. Sometimes you just let it sweetly dissolve, okay? So emotions, what are you grabbing? What are you grabbing? Are you grabbing a bag of chips? Are you getting a little Hershey's Kiss nugget or something, that you can pop into your mouth? What is it? What is your body telling you that it needs at that time? If you're reaching for the chocolate, or if you're reaching for the chips, are you looking for power? Are you looking for sweetness? Yeah, that's just one example about how we snack, okay? And then we have occasions where we are just at a party, at a gathering, and so there's lots of food on the table. Maybe it's a buffet, or you go to a buffet, and pay attention to what you're putting on your plate. And then when you sit down to eat, and you take that moment to take a deep breath and relax and look at what you've chosen. What you have on your plate tells a lot about what you have on your plate. Okay? So if you're talking through your meals, if you're angry during a meal, put the fork down, is what I'm going to tell you first of all. And eat because you're hungry. It's time to eat. You have an abundance of food that is good for you. And hopefully you make the selections that are going to be agreeable with your body. Okay? Otherwise, then this is one of the first places that you're going to get discomfort and dis-ease. You already got the discomfort if you're eating out of anger or eating out of emotions. So that's a head start. And then when you continue the process, then it becomes uncomfortable. And then you determine that you're in distress of some sort. And if you continue with this practice of overeating or emotional eating, or eating foods that are toxic to your body, and in that case you may not know until you do a deeper study, but paying attention to your body, all right? Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Offer your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. And be not conformed to this world. You don't have to eat everything. You don't have to eat what you don't want. In our culture, you don't have to eat because you're lonely, because you're stressed out. You eat because it's time to replenish the body with some nutrition, okay? And you don't even have to eat 3 meals a day or 5 meals a day. And you don't have to go on this diet or that diet, or keto, or carnivore, or vegan, or vegetarian. Ask your body. If you're lucky enough to go into the supermarket and shop for yourself, then I suggest that you start in the produce section and see what calls out to you. Well, that might be a little bit much. See what colors are attractive to you in that moment, in that day. I have gone into a supermarket and my eyes caught green apples and my eyes caught red apples. And I would actually hold the apple in my hand for a moment, the green apple. And then I'd hold the red apple. And I'd say, which one of these do I want today? Which one of these wants to go home with me this week? Because I might be shopping for a whole week. I'm not throwing things in my cart just because they're there and I got to feed a bunch of people, it's just throwing things together. I am choosing my food. God gave us the power of choice. And that is how we are not conformed to this world, but are transformed by the renewing of our minds, by allowing the thought process to come in. We're spirit, mind, and body. So you're picking up this fruit and interacting with the vibration of it. Okay, that's the spirit. And then you're thinking about it. You're making an intelligent choice. Okay, and then your body is going to respond kindly. Okay, less dis-ease or discomfort. All right. Okay, let's see. What else did I have in here that I wanted to tell you about this? Oh, so when you have a gut feeling, where is that gut feeling located? In the same area where you process your food, you process your thoughts, you process your emotions. That is a processing center. Okay? So follow your gut feeling when you're selecting your food, when you're selecting the nutrition that's going into your body. It goes into your mouth first. So I want to encourage you to maybe say grace or put some energy into that food or meditate on it. Okay. Listen to your body. Make good food choices. Eat out of the natural law of health, making good, nutritious selections. I think that's a good place to stop. Now, if you have questions that go deeper with that, if you have discomfort or diseases that may be affecting your health, your overall health, I am a diet and lifestyle counselor. You can give me a call. I can help you maybe with finding some strategies or just making some simple natural changes that could help you through a lot of that. It's not, everything is not in a bottle. It doesn't have to be a pill to help you get over this or a pill to help you get over this. It could be not having the pill in your life. Okay? That's going to be another one. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation from Lavender House. Once again, I'm here to help you rejuvenate, restore spirit, mind, and body. Thank you. You have a glorious day.